another friend, subscribers around the world. So we did it today. This morning we got up, was doing our thing. They were calling for snow late night tonight, and then tomorrow. And our plan was to go down and do a little treasure hunting and stuff. You know, you got to keep that stuff going to pay the bills. And so we wanted to go down, you know, get a few things and stuff, because it looks like we're going to be snowed in all weekend this weekend, and get a few treasures and stuff to add to, you know, some new stuff out there. So lo and behold, me and this kid here talking, and we were out of data on the computer, and we knew if we stayed at home and kept doing our thing, we were going to go over on the data, and then it really cost us. So we decided to go down below today in the two-wheel drive Ford that is pretty much a sled. Needless to say, we no sooner hit Payette down there and it started to snow. We went ahead and ran over to Ontario to pick up some hay for the goats, and luckily I picked up some salt rock. And by this time, there was probably an inch on the ground in Ontario, and it was snowing to beat all heck. And so we just bagged everything else we had to go, and that was, what, about 2:30? About 2:30, and headed back to the ranch. And coming up out, there's Midvale Hill, which is one of the worst hills. Coming out of Midvale Hill, we're creeping along, and you know, as long as you keep going, just slow, you know, man, top speed, I'm doing 32 right now, and I'm hauling butt. But, you know, you keep it going, 25, 30, especially when you're on a hill, if you can keep it going, you know, you can ease your way up. You know, because I have no chains in this thing, I should, you know. But I just don't drive this thing when it's like this. So we got caught out there. But anyway, so as we're coming up to Midvale Hill up ahead, man, we can see all hell is breaking loose. And a car is spun out, and I'm behind another pickup truck, and he starts slowing way down, so I'm slowing down. I'm trying to keep it going so I can get around him. Needless to say, and behind me is a semi. Needless to say, he ends up stopping, so I didn't have to stop, so I tried to go low around him to try to weasel up between him and which we ended up knowing the
person who spun out.
Person that spun out, but so I tried to go between him and her, and if I'd have kept going, would have hit, you know, sideswipe, because I was sliding sideways. But luckily, I picked up that bag of salt rock, and the guy in the other truck was locking his into four-wheel drive. It's the same truck as this, just a four-wheel drive. I was trying to get him to push me, but he's afraid he wouldn't get him going, so I started throwing salt rock out, and needless to say, very slowly slid my way out between them two cars and got going.
Yeah, I had to run and get in the
Yeah, I was going to leave Miss Kitty. I was like, hey, man, I got to go. But so shit, I was running down alongside the truck. Of course, I was going as slow as I possibly could without stopping, and the cops were showing up. The semi that was behind us that had to stop, the guy jumped out. You know, he was not a happy guy because he had to chain up right there, and they were lined up as far as you could see after that. So we slid out of that, and now we're over here. We're about Indian Valley now, and got one more big hill up here, and use our way home. Man, I got that. You know, if you've ever drove in this, I drove truck for 10 years, so I've had a lot of that dang knot in my neck. It's white knuckle driving the whole way. But Miss Kitty will ponder around, show you what we're dealing with, and man, we're back in our county now, ain't we?
Not quite.
Not quite. We're getting probably about 20 miles from the Homestead, so taking this thing over, drop parking it again, man, getting my beast. It is a mess out here. It's slicker than snot.